Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Nanya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am really grateful, and thank you all so much for all the support and love you all shower me here. You are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important. And before we get into this video, I am going to say trigger warning, right? This is, I don't know where I did not even want to cover this, but then we might be saving somebody's life out there, because this is one of the most horrible story I've ever heard, or I have to cover. I mean, okay, black woman, she went to the hospital to deliver her child. And while she was pushing, I don't know what the nurses did, and they decapitated the child's head from the body. And in fact, they broke like everywhere, both the head and the neck, like everything. And why it was, the woman actually did not even know what happened, because they refused to tell her. They refused to tell her all this. And they opted for surgery to bring out the baby. While they brought out the baby, it was just the neck down to the feet. And then they ended up having to bring out the baby, and they sent the baby straight up to the funeral home. And when they sent the child to the funeral home, they were telling the family not to do autopsy. I think they just wanted them to cremate the child or something. Like, they totally lied to them. And they did not tell them what happened to their child. It was at the funeral home that they found out what happened. And I know so much how black people have been. I know this, but this particular one is something I have never heard. I know black woman is in danger giving birth. Why sick? Like every damn thing. There is no place they are safe. But this particular one, I am in shock that something like this happened. I am rolling this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comments. So let's get.
This story is so sad, I didn't even want to cover it. A baby's head was just pulled off during delivery right here in Georgia. And I wasn't even going to cover this, but I'm going to show you the press conference, and the parents are suing. And that's why I'm covering it, because they need awareness, and anything I can do to help, I will always do. But I'm telling y'all, I don't need, watch this press conference. If you've been following my page, I've been covering the hospital treatment that black and brown get is not nowhere near as good as non-black and brown. And it's a serious problem, and this just highlights it. And they talk about this in the press conference. Please check it out, y'all. We got to support these parents. It's a terrible situation, but now they're suing, and we got to help them get justice.
I'm the managing partner of Edmund and Lindsay, and it saddens us that we're here today, but we're here. We're here because this young couple, Jessica Ross and Travion Taylor, their son was decapitated during a botched attempt at delivery at Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale, Georgia. In my experience, my 12 years experience practicing medicine and 20 years basically doing law, this is one of the most sad, egregious, and horrific situations that I've ever seen. We're here to announce the filing of a lawsuit against Dr. Tracy St. Julian, her medical practice, premier women's OBGYN, nurses, and other healthcare providers at Southern Regional Medical Center and Southern Regional Medical Center itself due to these horrific circumstances. Before we get started, let me just introduce the people who are here. First of all, we have Jessica Ross. She's the mother of the decedent baby, baby Travion Isaiah Taylor Jr. This is Mr. Taylor. He's a senior. Let me just cut straight to the chase and talk about the case itself. The case that we have filed is a wrongful death case on behalf of baby Travion Isaiah Taylor Jr. It's a medical malpractice case. But it also has another twist to it, which unfortunately happened. We have alleged fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress due to misrepresentation by people who are involved in Ms. Ross's health care. More specifically, in terms of the fraud which exposes these parties to punitive damages in Georgia, we have the failure of Dr. St. Julian to immediately inform this couple about the decapitation once she spoke with them after the procedure. We also have misrepresentation and fraud on the part of other healthcare providers there at Southern Regional who lied to this couple and told them that their situation did not warrant a free autopsy paid for by the county or by the state. Just the opposite. These circumstances for sure warrant an autopsy paid for by the state or by the county. And they also tried to encourage this couple to get the baby cremated before an autopsy was done. So there was an attempt to basically destroy evidence. And Attorney Lynch is going to go more into detail about that. This case shines a much brighter light on an issue that is endemic to our society here in America. It's the disparities in terms of maternal infant deaths and injuries in young black mothers in America. There's a 2021 Blue Cross Blue Shield study that dealt with racial disparities in maternal health. In that study, they determined after deep scientific research that in majority black communities, these women have a 63% higher incident of having damage to themselves or their babies. These numbers are similar in the Hispanic community. And then when you take this high number, the numbers are even higher amongst young people between the ages of 15 and 20.
Southern Regional Medical Center in Georgia, Riverdale, Georgia. The rate of unalive black mothers and black babies is sky high compared to non-black, and we need to do something about it. Like I said, if you've been following me, I've been covering this and I've been talking about it, and these are the results, and I'm sick. Join me live at 8 p.m. in a few minutes. We'll be talking about this. Please give the parents some encouraging words in the comments, prayers, whatever you can think of. I will keep you updated on this story and many others. Make sure y'all follow me. I'm out, and I don't like it at all.
Have you guys heard this horrific story? I'm going to give you a trigger warning now. It is awful. 20 years old, Jessica Ross, Travian Taylor, expecting their first baby. She goes into the hospital in labor, and what you read up there, that's what happened to her baby. Before I show the video of the attorney discussing it, I'm going to give you a trigger warning again, because it's awful. It's just awful.
Let me just tell you very briefly, let me just tell you all about what happened, okay? On July the 9th, 2023, just a few weeks ago, Jessica and Travion, they were excited. She was 37 weeks pregnant at that time, and they were really, really looking forward to the delivery of their firstborn child. Her water broke at about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. Appropriately, she went over to labor and delivery over the Southern Regional. They admitted her and put her on an IV and gave her some medicine to basically progress the delivery. She labored for about 10 hours, and then probably around 10, or strike that, about 8:40 in the evening, she was fully dilated, and they told her to start pushing. Well, during the course of the pushing, the baby stopped descending. There's something called a shoulder dystocia, fancy word for saying that the baby's shoulders could not fit through the pelvic girdle. It got stuck by the bone there in the pelvic girdle. That was recognized, and what wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. When Dr. St. Julian finally took Miss Ross to the operating room for a C-section, cesarean section, where they cut the belly and deliver the baby through the abdomen, when the womb was open, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina, and the head subsequently was delivered vaginally. The baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian was grossly negligent for applying ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck. Dr. St. Julian and the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center, they were grossly negligent for not getting the help of the on-site in-hospital OB in a timely manner. They have a hospitalist obstetrician who's there on site. And when doctors have problems with delivery, the first thing you do is call them and you get help. You get another perspective, another angle. This was not done in a timely manner, negligently. And then also, the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center were grossly negligent for failing to advocate and insist in other capacities that Ms. Ross got a C-section quicker, sooner, in a more timely manner. So those are the allegations that we claim in this suit. We just filed it. We're going to be very, very aggressive with the discovery. We're going to put all of these people who were in the room under oath and find out what they have to say specifically about what happened that tragic, tragic evening.
I pray to God this woman wins that lawsuit and everything else. And if you believe in the power of prayer, please send up as many as you can for this family, because as a mother, you go through 9 months of carrying the baby and feeling the baby kick, and you develop that bond and you're so excited. Like, today's the day we're having our baby. And for something like that to happen, I can't even imagine. Pray for this family.
Consider this your trigger warning, because what I'm about to share with you is one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen. A Georgia woman is suing an Atlanta area hospital after the doctor decapitated their baby during birth. And believe it or not, this is going to get progressively worse. So this happened at Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale, Georgia. 20-year-old Jessica Ross was having a normal labor. Her water broke, she was fully dilated, and began to push. But then the baby got stuck at its shoulders and wouldn't fit through the pelvic area. The OB, Dr. Tracy St. Julian, decided that she still wanted to try to deliver the baby vaginally and tried different methods, including putting traction on the baby's head. This is a really hard story to tell you guys. So basically what happened is they started pulling on the baby's neck and head and trying to manipulate them so hard that the bones in the neck and the skull began to fracture and break. They then decided to perform a C-section, and the baby's legs and arms were delivered at one point via C-section, and the head was delivered vaginally. And apparently after all of this, the doctor decided to not inform the family about the decapitation. In fact, the lawsuit alleges that the hospital tried to convince the baby's father to not perform an autopsy and to have the baby cremated instead of having it delivered to the funeral home. And once the baby, who by the way is a little boy, got to the funeral home, that's when the family was informed of what happened. And not by the hospital, by the funeral home, who let them know, hey, did you know that your baby was decapitated? The lawsuit is seeking unspecified damages. The hospital is denying everything and says that the doctor is not employed there and that they're going to take measures to make sure that things like this don't happen in the future. But I am so disturbed by this entire thing that I am just not even in a position to be able to unpack this with you guys right now, more than what we've talked about. I will be trying to follow this to give you guys updates, because it is important that we know what happens in this situation. So if you want to, make sure to hit the follow button, so when we do have additional details, if you really want to know more about this horrific story, I can share them with you.
So reportedly, there's a baby that was decapitated in a hospital in Georgia. They say in the lawsuit that there was negligence on the provider's part, and apparently they tried to cover it up. So the lawsuit calls for doctors, nurses, everybody. 20-year-old Jessica Ross was giving birth on July 9th. According to the lawsuit, the baby had got the shoulder stuck on her pelvis, so the doctor performed an emergency C-section. During the C-section, the doctor apparently used too much force on the baby's head and decapitated the baby. Immediately after, the lawsuit also claims that they would not let the mother and father hold the baby after. They reportedly wrapped the baby up and presented the baby with the head propped up with the baby wrapped up. So not only did they not let them hold the baby, but they were also pushing them to cremate the baby. This is absolutely horrendous, and it's a horrible story to even hear. The fact that you could use that much force and do something so horrible. I would personally lose my mind. I cannot even imagine what these people are going through. So pretty much, I think the people in the hospital, everybody involved, is pretty screwed at this point. Like, this is horrible. What do you think? I mean, what
this
would
is
you
all I
do?
got from this video. When I saw this video, at first I was like, should I bring this here? Should I not bring it here? But then, there are some things when you don't talk about it, it might happen to someone else. And I didn't know how I feel reporting this. This is one of the saddest thing that I don't know about, man. Okay, I really have talked about so many medical negligences and the rest of it happening to Black people or happening in Black community, and how palm-colored people are the major problem or major source of the problem, right? But I do not know the kind of force this person used to detach the head from the body. I don't understand. I don't know. I didn't know the kind of force this person used to decapitate this child's head. I don't even want to start why. I don't understand what the parents might be going through at this point in time. And the fact that, oh my God, some people are very wicked. I am not gonna lie to you. I mean, they perform CS. Oh my God, that woman went through hell. She went through hell. She went through it all. I mean, the baby's head stuck in her vagina, and then they think, okay, let's do CS to bring the baby, only to do CS to find out that the baby, it was just only the baby's neck to the feet that came out, and the head stuck in the vagina, and they lied about it. They did not tell the parents about it, and they are pushing that they shouldn't do autopsy. This is how evil some people are. And this is the reason why I am bringing it here, because some people can actually go any length to do something horrible to you and also look for a way to cover it. They did not tell the parents what happened. Rather, they were pushing that they cremate the child, right? Or they shouldn't also do autopsy. And then it was at the funeral home that they found out that the baby's head and the body are not together. God, I am sending all my prayers, all my thoughts to this family. Like, I don't want to, I definitely will go mad. I am not a mother yet, but I don't even want to imagine what my sisters and my cousins, what they told me about giving birth. And I was like, man, forget about it. I don't think for now, I don't want to think about it. You can imagine waiting for your first child. I mean, throughout the 9 months, there was nothing. Like, you went to the hospital in good health, only for the doctors to kill your child, or sorry, the nurses to kill your child. God, I don't want to think about it, but I am also sending this out so you all medical appetite. I have talked about this several times. You all also know it. It is probably not new to you, but this particular one is very new. This is on a different dimension. And I want you all to really be careful, especially when you are going to the pump color. Make sure you go to where people can take care of you, people that know what they are doing, because it is only a wicked person. Like, why would you even use that force on a child? Like, now I am just trying to imagine what they did, how forceful they. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.